watching Highland Post News Daily. In a follow-up to their memorandum to Chief Minister Conrad K. Sangma yesterday, which demanded a full and transparent accounting of the Rs 399 crores spent on COVID-19 pandemic measures, civil society group Thma Urangli Juki filed 3 RTI's requests today. 2 RTI requests have been directed to the Chief Minister's Secretariat and 1 to the Labour Department. These RTI applications are in addition to TUR's demands seeking proactive disclosure of all the accounts, including the names of suppliers and vendors under the Social Audit Act and Section 4 of the RTI Act. TUR is also going to file further RTI applications seeking details of the expenditure by MLAs out of the funds received for COVID-19 relief. The group also appealed to Meghalians to proactively seek information under the RTI Act so as to ensure that the COVID-19 pandemic does not become of what they call a pandemic of corruption.
It is very unfortunate that many times, most of the times when there are disasters, be it floods, earthquakes, the tsunami, we found that these occasions are used by those in power to amass wealth, to take advantage of the funds that come in and to take advantage of the confusion to actually corrupt. And now, during this pandemic, which actually has swept the entire world, we know that disaster capitalism will kick in again. There will be those who will want to use this occasion to make themselves more wealthy, more than what they already have, in the name of the poor, in the name of helping, in the name of aid, and which is why we need to be even more vigilant and hold our governments accountable. We need to ask about how, where, why, what they're doing. And especially in terms of funds, we need to know not just the, rounded off figures of how much has been spent. It's funny, the Chief Minister said 200 crores in 9 months. Deputy Chief Minister says almost 400 crores in 6 months. But naming these figures is not enough. The broad breakup also is not enough. We actually need to know how a contract's awarded, to whom, who are these beneficiaries who received assistance, how did they decide to award to a certain vendor. We need to understand the quality of things that they have purchased, which means we also need to do inspections to know, whether what the decisions that are being made and what is being spent is really being done in the best interest of all citizens to protect us from the pandemic and to take steps to ensure that those who have had to come back, who have lost jobs, those who are on the brink of hunger, those who have had to face the disease and their relatives, have they really been helped? And has this spending been meaningful in that sense? So we have filed a series of RTIs to 3 RTIs, 2 to the Chief Minister's office, 1 to the Labour Department, asking about the expenditure from February till October. We need to know from all departments how much they have spent, whether there has been any kind of rerouting of money from here and there, and also the Labour Department, which claimed that they had given assistance to the unorganized sector. Who are these beneficiaries? Did they really get this assistance? And it's sad that we have to use the RTI to ask, because actually as per Section 4 of the RTI, there should be proactive disclosure, which means the government should be on its own putting out vouchers, receipts, contracts in the public domain so that people have confidence in the government and it's a credible government. But we know that they will not be doing it. They will not also be using their Social Audit Act, which the government of Meghalaya has. And so we have gone ahead to file RTIs, and in our experience of fighting for the RTI and using the RTI in all of these years since it came into being in 2005, we know that it's a very effective weapon. If you ask the right questions, you will be able to unearth a lot and to get a lot of documents. And of course, it'll have to be a collaborative effort to study those documents and to understand how and where pilferage has happened. And then we also need to kickstart the Lokayukta, because after the RTI we worked so hard to get the Lokayukta. It's one of the best acts in the country. And we urge on the Lokayukta to proactively also seek information and see that there is no corruption. And the other level of RTIs which we will be filing, and we urge all of the citizens to do this, is to file RTIs on the MLA and MDCs, because they also were allotted a special COVID fund. How did you use this? Did people really get the rations? When they said that they were sanitizing, was it really true? How many masks have they procured? How many information materials have they produced to inform and educate the public on COVID? We need to hold the MLAs accountable, and we will help you. Any one of you who wants to file an RTI to the block, to the district, to your MLA, we will help you frame the RTI, and we'll help you to use the online portal. That was what we used also this time. So please, let's all do this together to hold this government accountable. Because when they say corruption, it is not just monetary financial corruption, it's actually an abuse of power. You know, how they decide to do what they do, who are the people they give contracts to, all of this many times depends on a certain kind of political bureaucratic patronage, and we need to hold that accountable. And we're still in the midst of the pandemic. We cannot afford for there to be unnecessary wastage and unnecessary expenditure. We still have the muster roll, the teachers who have not been paid. So we need to ensure that this government is answerable to the people at all times, and especially now, because we are in the midst of